evening, my fellow exorcist, and welcome to The Lair of the Film Exorcist. I am your host, Cinema Witch, and tonight we will be reviewing Carol. An aspiring photographer develops an intimate relationship with an older woman in 1950s New York.
It was a really good Christmas movie. I mean, yeah, Silva, you got your wish. We did a Christmas movie this year. And Rooney Mara and Cate Blanchett are an amazing duo in this movie. Like Cinema Witch said, this is a romance. It's a lesbian romance movie that's somewhat similar to the one that we watched in the last, except it's a lot less raunchy and it's a lot more historically accurate. The reason for this is it takes place in 1950s New York / 1950s Chicago, and in between. During the 50s, it was frowned upon to be bisexual or lesbian or gay or any kind of LGBTQ term. This is because during that time they kind of saw it as a disease.
Or mental illness.
And to cure yourself of this, you had to get a psych evaluation of it, which, yeah, you were pretty much seen as insane if you liked the opposite gender, or
The same gender.
yeah, if you say you're a woman and you had romantic feelings for another woman, people would call you crazy and you would be put in a mental hospital.
Pretty much.
And we see this through Carol's point of view, where she's dealing with her divorce with her husband. I don't think they mentioned how long they've been together.
10 years.
Oh, well, they've been together 10 years, and yeah, the guy's an asshole. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with him.
It's more like you see, historically accurate in the way, that you see 1950s, the social dynamics between men and women, where, men are, the protectors, and they're, the leaders, and they know what's best for a woman, and, force their will on them, and that was normal. I know what's best for you, you don't know what's best for you. The husband says constantly, she's my responsibility, I don't know. Patriarchy, that kind of stuff.
Right. And on
even...
Teresa... oh, wait. No, go ahead.
And even the one that is not a part of a married couple, there's Therese, who has a boyfriend, kind of. Someone who just kind of hangs around her and really wants to marry her, and is constantly making decisions for her before they're even really involved. He thinks that he knows what's best for her, is making all of these decisions and assuming that she wants them too, but she actually doesn't. And he just doesn't get that.
I hate the men in this movie. I mean, we've got the husband who is a complete douchebag. We've got the friend who is air quotes there, who is a complete piece of shit.
I think that that situation that I was in with that guy that you knew, it's kind of similar. I wasn't ready for a relationship, but he was, and was I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you can corroborate on this, because you were familiar with the situation.
It was I who saved her from this relationship.
Oh, go.
And I had to,
Does your arm hurt from patting yourself on the back so much?
Oh, come on. Hey, just because I know when a guy is acting like an asshole and is just so full of himself doesn't mean that I'm so full of myself.
I want to talk about another side character, Sarah Paulson's character.
Oh.
What about her? Carol's childhood friend, you know, fellow lesbian, like, bestie.
Well, I mean, lesbian real life, but she was... This is one of the most interesting things you see in cinema a lot. A gay or lesbian character playing a straight person.
No, she wasn't straight in the movie. She was talking about this girl, this redhead girl that she was interested in.
Anyway, I got my eye on this redhead who owns a steakhouse outside of Paramus.
I'm talking
Serious. Rita Hayworth redhead.
Really? You think he got what it takes to handle a redhead?
Wait,
In the restaurant.
wait, really?
Yeah, she was.
Huh. No, I only remember her first experience that she said where her and what's her name? Main character, blonde. Carol.
What the fuck? It's
Okay.
the name of the movie, you ass!
Okay, forgive me. It's an honest mistake.
It wouldn't be a cinema review if he didn't get the characters' names wrong.
Oh my god, shut up. One movie!
I gotta roast you.
But, yeah, I remember her talking about her and Carol's encounter during the movie where they laid in bed together and cuddling. But actually, that's kind of the lesbian equivalent of, I met this guy at camp and we had a little gay moment that we never talked about ever again. Like, that is the equivalent. I mean, to be honest, I don't think you'd ever see guys, young boys laying together in bed, curled up.
That's more of like a girl thing to do. Like
Exactly.
like what we do at like sleepovers and stuff like that. We're like, I don't know, we like hold hands when we go to the mall and stuff like that, you know. Girls are just more affectionate towards each other.
Right. Actually, we did see a meme a while back that was very similar. It was a guy, two boys. They're like embarrassed to say anything about the other guy's outfit because it's like, oh, if I say I really like it or if I make a big deal about it, it's going to be taken as I'm gay. Where for girls, they will go fucking crazy over any outfit, especially if they find it cute or they figured that it would look good on them too. Like, that is the contrast between guys and girls. Guys most guys, I'm not saying myself, definitely not myself, are more standoffish and quiet and afraid of what people will think, where girls, they still worry about what people would think, but also they are a lot more excitable and a lot more fun.
But we're not talking about girls that are friends. We're talking about women who are in love with each other right now.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, either way, still, the standard still stands.
Yeah. Can we talk about the lots of longing stares into each other's eyes?
Oh my god.
The entire movie, just staring longingly into each other's eyes.
And this one with the score going off. Near the end, I didn't realize it until late, but I felt like that the score was kind of it had kind of a heartbeat to it, where it felt like it was both characters' heartbeats racing every time they looked at each other, like.
Mm-hmm. Whenever there was like a spark, you know, like the score hit, I was like at the end, like I had chills.
And I'm still kind of mad that it's kind of left ambiguous on what actually happened after they met up at the hotel, like.
So we talked about this a little bit during the movie about how you know, it's very quiet and it's very subtle. And that's how you had to have things like back then. You could be like out and proud and stuff like that. You know, you couldn't be like full like, you know, being all like affectionate and stuff with each other, you know. It had to be very low key, and I think that the ending is sort of reminiscent of that.
And that is the sad fact about
Yeah, it's kind of like hush hush, you know. You try to play it off as much as like we're girls and we're friends as much as possible.
which can be believable until behind closed doors.
Right.
Like that was shown during the trip that they took. Like outside, it looks like they're just friends. They're just really nice people hanging out all the time. And then behind closed doors, it's just. And I gotta say, this was. I don't know if it's the first, but holy shit, this was erotic.
Yeah, that the two scenes that they're like together.
I mean, I did not expect a full-on sex scene in this movie.
You have not seen Blue is the Warmest Color.
I have not. Yeah, they go all out for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course they don't show, you know, lower half stuff, but, you know, a lot of, like, kissing and stuff like that.
A lot of, breasticles.
I mean, there were some, like, suggestions of, like, some other things that were going on, but, like, it, like, blurred out, like, towards the end.
Exactly. And, I mean, that's just as powerful as if they actually showed what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, also, I really love the aesthetic of this movie.
It's very Christmas.
Well, that, and it's very much the 50s. Like, you got that idea from seeing the suits on all the men, the berets.
The set design, the costumes.
The department stores, like, you still kind of see that with J.C. Penney's and some Kohl's in New York, but here, while we've seen it also in 80s movies like Child's Play with the mother working in a department store, but here, this is New York. This is definitely what you would see in New York. I would have believed if they actually used a real life department store to show this. And just...
I can't imagine it being a set, you know, it seems like an actual location.
The only thing I will complain about is some of the background characters, like the extras, it was weird looking at them. Like, half of them did not want to be there. Like, near the beginning of the movie, I mentioned this. There was this one woman, she was carrying a doll around, and it's just like she looked like she was so bored as she's walking around. Or
I mean, no, but not everybody's excited to, like, oh, I gotta get toys for my kid this year. Ugh.
Yes, but it also kind of felt a bit out of place. I mean, it's realistic. Most people wouldn't be happy about Christmas and other events like going shopping, but there were some background characters.
A couple of extras that, like, it lingered on them. It looked like a woman and a man, but, like, it kind of lingered on them, and it looked like a couple of girls, and one of them was in a suit. But you'll never know.
You'll never know. I mean, that is some brilliant foreshadowing, actually. Like, or not foreshadowing, but we were born in the 90s and the early 2000s, so we definitely don't know what the LGBTQ community did back then in the 50s while it was in hiding. I mean, maybe women did dress up in suits and were able to disguise themselves pretty well while they went out with their
significant other, you know.
We would know, but this is,
It was very, very hush-hush.
and it is very much a timepiece, this movie. It does the 50s very, very well. I mean, the music's there, the outfits, as I mentioned previously, and the dolls. The dolls are fucking creepy as hell in this movie. Toys back then were just terrifying.
So, Sarah Paulson.
She's a really good friend in this movie. Helping out Carol, having her back throughout it, but also, you can also feel the tension that she has against,
The husband.
well, I was actually gonna say against,
The girl?
Therese.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, and she even mentions it, I know you didn't do this for me. You did this for Carol because she asked you to. And then it goes into the, story of their friendship, and it's, you also get the sense that she's trying to protect her. Actually, fun fact is, apparently I heard the 50s and 60s were a lot more lenient on LGBTQ. And then it was the 80s and 90s, which got a lot more rude.
Bro, I think you got that backwards.
Oh no, 80s and 90s, that was the AIDS era, where everyone would attack the,
I'm gonna sit you down for a history lesson.
This is coming from an anthropology teacher that studies this stuff for a living. And lived through it.
We'll put a pin in that.
We'll put a pin in that, but still, this was a really good movie, and I think I mentioned that most movies, they'll place a romance in a Christmas setting, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Carol is a Christmas movie.
Carol is definitely a Christmas movie. You can actually feel it. You see the gifts that they exchange. You feel the atmosphere with the Christmas music that plays. The Christmas hats that the department store workers are forced to wear. There is a lot of elements of Christmas in here where a lot of movies these days really wouldn't do that. And this was made very well known in a review that we read before watching this movie. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, really good.
Really good. I'd say this is another. I want to give it a triple plus, but also the background characters kind of ruined it for me.
You're so odd.
You don't give a rating.
Rating schmating.
You know, since you chose the movie, how about you give one?
Rating?
Yes, a rating.
I rate this a 10 longing stares out of 10.
Okay, so she's giving it the full A+ treatment. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. We definitely recommend this for the Christmas season, especially since it was one of the first few LGBTQ Christmas movies that we know of at this point, which is surprising because it came out in 2016.
Yeah. We didn't mention that it was also produced by the Weinstein Company, which, yikes, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
It's not a review of Carol if you don't mention that. It's just not.
It's not. I mean, yeah, they've had some bad history, but this is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the little notification bell for more of our content and to get notifications when we post more. So, have a great night, and
You'll see you in the next one.
you'll see us in the next one if I don't end up doing the book review that I plan to do tonight. Have a great night, and Merry Yule!